We are live.
Yay. Now what's going on? Oh, I gotta turn my camera on. That would help.
Yeah, it doesn't count me going live until you go live.
Yeah, hold on. It's here we go.
Alrighty then.
I think we're good now.
We do appear to be good, yeah. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, go like this. Trying to make sure that I can see. You remember how chat pops out for us? Trying to make sure I have that.
I have to get that up because
There was an error. Oh,
an error.
Nope, it was my error. My bad.
Oh,
Okay.
just need to minimize it. I gotta remember how to do that again.
But hello and good morning to you and to everybody else who hopefully will be watching this stream. And I'm trying to get Harmony Gardens up just in case anybody wants to try talking over here with us. All right. I think that is kind of the best that I'm going to be able to do right now. I have a baby in my lap, so I can't have my grounding stone. I did want to light some incense and see if I can get rid of this extra residue I'm dealing with.
Okay.
I can't wait for my sage to be growing big enough for me to actually, cut some leaves off and do something with it. Did you light?
Can't remember how to bring up chat.
The little chat section next to our window, there's little dots that give you an option so that you can
Oh, okay.
pop it out. You might need to turn down.
What in the world?
Your volume's a little too high. We're getting feedback. Oh, that was fun. That's better. I can't hear myself anymore.
Okay, sorry. There's got to be something interesting going
Every
on.
stream, yeah, absolutely. Yes. This is a very, very early stream, so we didn't have a whole lot of prep time before because I was still asleep an hour ago.
I know. I hadn't heard from you, and I'm like, Nikki, are you still recording? Gotta tell me.
Oh my God, I jumped up this morning, like Jay was already up ready for work, and I guess I just rolled over and went right back to sleep. Looked at the clock, and it was 7:04, and I sat straight up in bed. I was like, oh God.
Oops. Must have been a good sleep.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to sleep until like 11 last night, so I was hurting an 80 bit. You wanna blow out the candle? Nope, don't touch. You're supposed to blow. Blow harder. Oh, very good. Good job. Thank you. Okay, so have we fixed all our technical difficulties?
I'm not sure. Hold on. Still working on it.
Because let's see. I know we were wanting. I have to write this down or I'll forget. I know we were wanting to talk about this last couple weeks. These last 2 weeks were a little bit hard on everybody. Last 2 weeks. There was definitely a transition phase in there. And you were wanting to talk about life paths. I'm assuming because, for example, you've been having a lot of signs coming up about your shop that you're supposed to be
Yes.
opening. Yeah. And along with you, I love that my path is intertwined with yours, because I've definitely been getting signs that I'm supposed to be doing my part or helping with your life path. Let me see if I look at my notes from this. Last time we were streaming, there was a couple of things that we were wanting to talk about in our next stream that we never got to do, so we might have to come back to those. I know we were hoping to talk to Rhea so she could help us understand this perspective of an inner dragon, not just the Kundalini, but the spirit of the dragon that we have in us. I know that was something. And on August 24th, we had a lot of reflection going on for self-health, and there was a lot of struggle and strife that had been brought up. So that was probably definitely part of that transition too. So we have that, and hopefully we can get some readings in today.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, I'm hoping that that live stream on Facebook yesterday helped a little bit, because I know that people are sometimes reluctant.
That was very cool. I'm hoping you do more of that.
Yeah, I want to, just so people know that they can be comfortable and, you know, and share safely with us. And
you too, so you can be comfortable too.
Yeah.
About your life path.
Yeah, you're right, because it took a lot to get me to do a live stream on Facebook by myself. Like, I was so nervous. My hands were
Leap of
shaking.
faith, woman. Leap of faith.
I know. Yeah, that was definitely intense for somebody who doesn't really care to be in the spotlight a whole lot.
Oh, I know. You're part of the stream today. Let's see, post in Harmony Gardens about free reading. See if anybody has any questions. If it comes down to it, I hope you don't mind. I know we're trying to get people more incorporated into the live stream, but I really do want to, you know, if going with Harmony Gardens on Facebook and trying to answer questions there is the closest that some people are going to be comfortable with this live stream, then I kind of want to go that extra 10%, meet them, and maybe help them, you know, get comfortable. I don't know what my hair's doing today, but I can see it and it's driving me crazy. Okay, so.
Why am I not seeing these comments? Or these? Seems like I always have an issue with seeing the comments section.
What browser are you using?
Google.
Google Chrome?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would imagine it'd be set up the exact same way as mine.
Hold on a second. Hello?
I am going to pull cards real quick. Let's see.
Hello?
Do I want to pull cards or do I want to pull runes? Okay, I'm sorry. Here. All right, sweetie. Go on. All I see is naked baby booty.
Yeah. Try to be a mom.
I've seen
Everybody gets to see it.
my fill of baby penis, dude. I'm so done with boys.
Oh, I hear ya. Oh, I remember when Quentin was that age.
Boys are definitely very free spirited.
Oh yeah, most
Definitely.
definitely. Most definitely. Quentin was running with his diaper off. I mean, it was so funny too because he would take his diaper off. He knew where it went once it came off. He would throw it away in the garbage and then just run and be like, "I'm free." You know,
I'm
it
so
was
free. All right, let's see if I can get a rune or two, something simple. Oh, did you want a movie on? Can you give it to brother?
Guess that answers your question.
Okay, I'll put your movie on. I'll find you a movie. All right, give me just a second. 'Cause he is demanding.
Mhm. Well, I suppose I can start off with the reading. I'm going to use the Archangel Oracle cards because I used them yesterday and they were quite powerful with messages for everybody. So I'm going to go with the theme. Let's see.
I has returned.
Look,
Oh no. Spread your wings.
yeah, and
Oh,
I've
what's
been,
that?
one of the signs that I've been getting are feathers.
You know, me too. I don't know if it's just the season and this is just the time that birds molt more,
Yeah.
but I can go all year without having feathers by my front door. But this last week, I've had six, six feathers by my door just this last
Wow.
week. So I don't know if they're molting or if it's just because and it's the same kind of wind that we always have here. So I don't
I don't know. The kids and Brian found falcon feathers in the yard
I'm
right next
so
to the
jealous of
door.
that.
And then the other day when I walked Quentin down to the bus stop, you know, that one just kind of floated right in front of me to my feet. And I'm like, whoa, no way. That was crazy. So, uh, and and I've been talking. This message is from Archangel Ariel, and I've been talking with Archangel Ariel a lot. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect, and you are ready to soar. I don't know about you, but I am ready.
I am the closest I've been to absolute fearlessness in a little while. These runes are telling me a story. I can't remember what this one is. Trying to figure out. That would be. No, let me pull one more. Let me see if I can. I like this whole north, south, east, and west reading. Usually gives me something. I'm not sure if this reading is actually making any sense to me. I wanted to pull runes to see what it was that we were talking about today. Of course, it starts out with stuff that we already know.
Reading it though.
It's just repeating it. It started with Othelia, which is homeland, wealth, inheritance, land, family, heritage, nationality, history, culture. So anything about
Roots? Your roots,
roots,
maybe?
where you come from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so that's fine. But then it gives me Tiwaz, which is the sky god, Tyr, was a war of God. The rune demonstrates honor, leadership, courage, dedication, daring, negotiations, success, legal matters, know your true strengths, victories, comes with some self-sacrifice. So again, it's just a long way of saying courage, dedication, integrity is a favorite word of mine.
Yeah, that courage card kept coming up a lot yesterday for people.
Yeah, but it seems, in this instance, it seems more than just having courage. It always seems like this rune gets pulled up because it wants you to have courage for a preparing of some sort. Because then, as usual, the next rune is always, it always has to do with hardship. In this case, we have Nautitz, which I really hope I'm pronouncing these runes right. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can speak Elder Futhark and are laughing their ass off at me. Means a need or a shortfall. It's indicating of lack of something. Oh, did I read the wrong one earlier? I must have. Requires strength of character, determination is required to improve the situation. That's probably why the reading was making me wonder, because I read the wrong line. That's always fun. So I'm telling you, it's too early. I need more monster.
So this could be an inner conflict or an outer conflict, or even relate to the first rune, which is associated with your roots, your heritage, your family.
Your past.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and pulled the fourth because I've discovered recently that doing the 4 for the northeast, south, and west wheel definitely seems to complete the circle of the meaning. So the last one was Ansu's, which is, it represents, it's an association for Odin, which is an unceasing quest for wisdom, knowledge, truth, and insight. It embodies the concept of wisdom, communication, and inspiration. So we basically have your background, family, homeland, inheritance, anything of where you came from that ties into you now. We have preparing for a struggle, or courage is needed. Then we have, the need or the shortfall, action is required, strength is needed, and wisdom, as always. So, I mean, now that I'm reading the right line, it seems to be making just a little bit more sense. And I think that has something to do, again, with this life path. Because it seems like... Yeah, it seems like anytime that somebody is getting a sign for their life path, it's not when you're in a great place. You are most definitely not completely happy.
Those are the moments we find the most strength, though. Is when we're not in our greatest moments. Those are the opportunities to find our greatest strength. And I think that's why people become so tenacious in those moments, because they know that they can't give up, because they know what the outcome, they already know what the outcome is going to be if they do. So they only have one choice, which is to push forward, and that's when they find their most strength. So of course, it's going to collide with your life path, and you're going to be getting those signs and everything, because that's the strongest moment, is when you're like, nope, I'm doing it. I have to do it. This is this is my path I'm on right now. So
I'm almost curious if this is a predictable season, because we've been talking about this stuff for years, but it's just now occurring to me how fluid, how perfectly and easily it transitions from one thing to the next. It's my puppy is rather pissed off in the room. We had these whole past 2 weeks of a struggle. Was very obviously a transitional point. A couple weeks before that, we were talking about struggle and strife. We were definitely noticing that there was something coming up. Then we had this 2 weeks of just, it hurt, and there was so much crap that we had to let go of, and all these things coming to the surface. And now all of a sudden it would make sense that we get to this point where we realize, I'm not happy with where I've been, or I want to fix this because I know this could be better. And now, you know, we have this insight. We're getting all these messages about what our life path could be, so that if we may have gone astray, and that may be why we were struggling or unhappy, emotional, spiritually, physically, you know, just what have you, then that would definitely make sense.
Yeah, and it's there's really only two ways it can go. Either you're going to accept the situation and try your best to move through it um, as graceful as possible, or you're going to resist what's going on, and you're going to be so focused on the bad, or putting a negative spin on it, you've created an obsession and a block all at the same time.
Hmm.
So, you know, I mean, and that's a lot of what with your life path, along with everything else, choice. And it's not, there's no one way for everything. There's many different ways. And
There
I think
is.
the basis of being aligned and staying aligned with your life path is to follow your intuition, to follow what feels right for you, rather than what feels right for everybody else.
This is slightly off topic, but I want to go ahead and bring this up. It definitely has a bit to do with being honest with yourself too. I kind of feel like the struggle and strife
Mm-hmm.
and the this whole last couple of weeks, that I felt terrible, you felt terrible. We didn't get to do our stream last week because there was just so much
There
static in
was just so
the
much
air. It
heaviness.
was,
Yeah,
yeah, it
it was
was like you could
exhausting.
just, it really was. And
Yeah.
to me, what I was personally going through definitely had to do with being honest with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about your basic honesty. I know honesty is on the same level, but to me this was most definitely a deeper honesty. And I think it was because it was stuff that I don't regularly have to be honest with myself about, stuff that to me isn't important at just a random moment at time. It seems to just kind of come up. It seems to be those things where you're like, oh, you know, it's not important to deal with it right now. It's not going to hurt anything. And you brush it off.
Yeah.
And that seems to be those kinds of things that just, they tend to pile up. And then you keep pushing it off, and it kind of forces you to deal with, again, being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And that is probably holding me back from, or, you know, causing some of that struggle and strife versus holding me back on my path. But I'm still waiting for a little bit more insight on that one, because I don't think I personally understand it 100% for myself.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody does, really. You know, nobody really has the perfect answer or knows everything. We kind of just um, pick what resonates with us and individually, and go with that and change accordingly. And I mean, that's all you really can do, just try to be as resilient as possible, and accept responsibility. And
Mhm.
um,
It it does. I don't know if you've noticed this. Maybe other people have noticed this too. But we tend to deal with a lot of this stuff alone. And I think
yeah.
that's been coming up with courage a lot lately too.
Mhm.
Is I don't think our life path is meant to be understood alone. I'm a lot of all the signs we've been talking about, some of the readings you did yesterday, some of the other signs that I've been getting for people, that heavy channeling I was doing the other day, that was trippy. Definitely seemed to be about, and that's another reason why I think we're pushing so much for community, getting involved in these streams, is because today's world has gotten us to where we can be so independent. You have
Mhm.
your smartphone, you have your computer, your internet, your Netflix, your nobody has to be involved with anybody anymore, because we have more than enough things to entertain us on an individual, and for lack of a better way of explaining it, in a selfish way. We put ourselves in a little bubble.
Yeah.
And it definitely
Yeah.
seems that we would be easier to see our life path. We would be happier community wise. Because I don't figure out what is going on with me unless I'm talking to you or I'm talking to my husband or, connecting with somebody else. When I can help somebody else, it gives me insight into what it is that
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing too.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mirror effect, because I do that a lot too with you. When I'm trying to sift through things and understand things, I babble. And somehow that helps me like break through the layers of something and kind of get to the bottom of it and figure out what the connection is. And,
Here,
I mean,
go ahead and keep talking. The puppy's just getting more and more loud. I'm sure you can hear him. I'll be right back.
yeah, so what I was saying is, when it helps to talk. It's easy for somebody who's hypersensitive or someone who's just sensitive to their surroundings or people. It's easy for us to put us in our own little isolation bubble and kind of just deal with things by ourselves. And we get this this feeling of a necessity to deal with everything by ourselves, and not ask for help. And the thing that tricks me a lot of times is when I'm going through something, whether it be mentally and emotionally or physically or all of the above, um, it's not the best feeling in the world. And I understand that those around me absorb this energy from me. And I tend to isolate myself to keep them from absorbing this energy and having to deal with it. So, I mean, we end up uh, taking on the weight of the world by ourselves. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay, you talk with somebody you're close with about these things. You deal with it together. And I mean, I really think it's important. It's an important connection that we need with each other, because I think that the biggest illusion we have is if I take responsibility for myself, then I have to go through this alone.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Yeah, we look for other people to heal us.
Yeah.
Like people will come to us looking for healing, but it never occurs to us that we're just
Right.
like them. We
Yeah.
need to be able to go to somebody else too for the same amount of healing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
whether it
Yeah.
be one way or another.
And it's easy to lose yourself in that cycle, um, and feel, I mean, that just creates a world of lower vibrations. And at some point you have to know that it's okay to have people next to you or beside you, and really take on this journey with you, because I won't hesitate. There's been many times where I've dropped my intentions, my beliefs, my feelings, my perception, anything that defines me as an individual, just dropped it all, just so I could step into somebody else's life and experience it with them, and then come out of it and find a solution
Mm-hmm.
that benefits everybody. Uh, so it's okay, we get through it. We're living, we're breathing, and like they say, we're in it together.
Yeah, we really are. Let's see. We were hoping to get a couple people to join us today. I've been really, really looking forward to, I mean, you and I, we can talk for hours every day. And I was really hoping to get some more perspectives. It's one of the things that I absolutely love being sociable about with new people is that
Yeah.
perspective. They never cease to amaze me and give me something that I had yet to think of. You know, and I'm not an incredibly smart person or anything. I like my level of intelligence, but it's again, it's community. You know, two heads are better than one. Yeah. So really hoping to get comments on this, even if somebody goes back and decides to watch this after we're done with our stream and maybe wants to message us or comment under the link for it. I am constantly looking for more insight, more connections. I
Yeah.
don't think I could possibly stress enough about how, to me, I don't know why it's just so embedded in me that those connecting those lights, those connections are just, they're like really important to me. I don't even know how to iterate it. I'm sure you know. I'm sure
Yeah.
anybody listening probably understands what it is that I'm attempting to explain.
Well, you know, and when you say that, I imagine the globe, and I can see the ley lines, the grids, and the
Yeah, they're
energy
lines. That's what I
connecting
see too.
lines. Yeah, just going all, and that's what I see.
Mhm.
That's what comes to mind. So it
And
is important
that's
for humanity.
exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And it's you know, I used to be part of that group. There was a Facebook Connecting the Lights group and stuff, but for some reason, I guess maybe I just wasn't on that part of the path yet. For some reason, during that time, I didn't actually feel the necessity to have that connection.
Yeah.
But maybe this is my life path, you know? Like maybe it
Oh,
has something to do with being a teacher.
yeah. And there's a divine order to everything. So, you
Oh
know,
my god. I can't get my incense unstuck to put in a new stick. The horror.
I'm not burning any sage or anything right now.
Oh well, I feel like I'm needing it this morning. Like I said, I woke up this morning with some. I can tell it's my own
Yeah.
residual energy about something. I don't know if it's just because I didn't sleep well last night, or I'm still irritated about something. Um, oh, I can't burn my incense. It's stuck. Boo. Maybe I can stick it somewhere else. See, I talk about my own level of intelligence, but I'm struggling with an incense stick. Gotta be 10% smarter, Amber. 10%. Remember that?
Yeah.
Don't run into the door.
Yeah. I totally own that, okay? That provided endless entertainment for others. So,
It really did. It was great. We all did it
yeah,
at some point in
oh my
time.
gosh, you should see me yesterday when I tripped over that mask.
Oh, yeah, that sounded hilarious. I saw you Supermaning, but you're short, so not Supermaning very high off the floor.
Yeah, when you're close to the ground like me, it's, you know, you're not going to go very far from the ground, especially when you're tripping over things.
Oh man, that sounds fun. Let's
It
see.
definitely was. And I'm like, I, after it happened and I'm slowly pulling myself back up, I whispered, ouch, so I wouldn't wake Brian up.
Because you didn't make a loud thud. You
Right.
didn't.
And you know, when I hit the bed, it didn't jolt him awake or anything. So
I'm. I'm feeling like uh, there's another topic. I do this every time that we're streaming because you know what? You always have those little voices, those little whispers. You try to hear
actually,
them.
I was thinking the transitions, the energy, and how they're shifting right
Uh-huh.
now. A lot of messages about having faith. Um,
That faith has definitely been coming up.
yeah, having faith, and I think when somebody refers to having faith in God and having faith in your angels, I really think what they're saying is, okay, if your perception is within me, then the center point of your faith should be you. Have faith in yourself, trust your intuition, and that was the biggest message for me, because the last, not this week, but last week, it was a tough week, and
Yeah.
you know, the capacity of the challenges had me questioning a lot. I mean, a lot. I
Yep.
was questioning just about everything, and reflecting on myself and what I knew, and if you know if the information that I was holding was truly something that I believed in, and the message faith, have faith, it just kept coming across to me repeatedly.
But
So
when these topics of faith come up, what exactly is the faith supposed to be in? Is it just supposed to be trusting in how you feel, or is it
I think
supposed
it's
to be?
more trusting in yourself and the decisions that you have to make for yourself and the people who are around you, like your family members. Um, and having faith that, you know, as long as you have that trust in yourself and the decision and making the appropriate decisions for you and your family, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. What the outcome is. So
Um, oh, hello, Harvey. How are you today, sweetheart?
I can't see the messages, and I don't know why.
I'm good this morning. Miss Amber seems to be doing good this morning.
Yes, I am doing good. Thank you. I hope you're well. This message part, because it's not popping up for me.
Uh-oh, she must see her Harvey. Well, did you find the section where it says live chat next to the window? It should be on the screen, you know, where you're watching, not us, but other people coming in to watch outside the live chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be a little section there that has the live chat. You should be able to see. If you've already popped it up, then it's a second window, so it's probably hidden under your windows, minimized or something.
They switched YouTube around a bit.
Well, it should just be
And
on the, we missed you
on
too.
the, yeah, on the channel page. It should be on the channel page.
Well, not your channel page. Maybe it's because you're the one who's hosting the live. So it's probably in a different location. But if you open a different window with the link that we post into Harmony Gardens,
Uh-huh.
that YouTube window should pop up, and it should have, but again, it could be because you're logged in as yourself.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I figured this out the last time. So, videos.
You gotta figure out how to get the cards to jump from me. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I have a feeling that if I do it sitting here in my lap, they're gonna go flying everywhere.
Oh,
Harvey's suggesting to refresh the page.
yeah, I see it now. Just have to. Okay, I got it. I'm good.
That works. Okay. So we were talking about faith, having faith
Mhm.
in yourself. See, and I understand this is resonating more with me than I'm willing to admit. Pride's a bitch. And that whole, we've always been the ones we had to rely on ourselves with the lives that you and I have. We know what that's like.
Yeah.
Without going into too much detail for our viewers, it's just a sad story with some highlights and stuff. But that's basically because Amber was my highlight.
We were some badass warriors back then, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
but we had to. See, that's the thing. It's uh you have to. Oh, no worries, Harvey. You're good.
it's okay, sweetie. We're glad.
Um yeah, I think Amber was talking about you wanting to see the stream and looking forward to seeing you come on. But with
Yeah.
uh our lives basically, and you know my story. It's been so hard to rely on somebody else. So hard to actually put faith into someone else because time and time again, you're kind of shown that they're gonna they're gonna let you down, for a lack of a
You
better way
know,
of explaining it.
yeah, and I can see that, but I can also remember that when we put that faith in, or not really faith, but trust in that those people, we were doing it for them. We weren't following our own intuition, because had we been following our own intuition, we would have probably ran the other way.
I did.
Yeah,
I
you
can
did first. And then I was like, she did, I'm out. I'm
Okay,
out.
see, but then that's another thing why I understand faith is hard. And being
Mhm.
able to take that step to 100% faith is scary. And there's so much fear attached to it because making
Yeah,
those right decisions, making those hard decisions, it's still going to require you to get out of your comfort zone,
yeah.
start over, leave something you care about, or admit that you don't care about something that you want to. It's not, to me, I guess the hardest part for me about faith is probably the other people, because I
And
can
that's,
know how I feel, but
yeah,
it's not just me. It's, again, I want all this community to come together. I want to connect all these people, but the hardest part about that is everybody having faith in each other.
yeah, yeah. Well, and we've been so conditioned to believe that every time somebody tries to show you that they care about you, there's some string.
Sarcasm waiting for them to screw up.
Yeah, there's either strings attached, or you're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And um you know, I'm glad now, I'm happy and grateful now that I'm older and I've had those experiences. Because of those experiences, I'm able to read people's intentions a bit better, um, and trust my own intuition a bit. But uh, because I've had to deal, or I've chosen to deal with so many things by myself, it's hard for me to give that trust immediately to somebody else. Um, it's something they definitely have to work towards. Um, but I have faith in myself, and I have trust in myself. So, it's that balance.
Well, to me, honesty, trust, and faith are definitely very closely intertwined. But
Oh,
there's still, to me, I can separate them. And
hmm,
everybody gets like a different point scale on where they are at with me. The one thing that I do enjoy about myself is that I can take comfort in the fact that I will accept somebody for who they are. I do not judge when I
yeah,
first meet somebody because I don't know them.
Right.
Obviously, anything that I'm seeing right now is going to be false because I don't understand the context and what I'm seeing. So I have gotten that part down about like faith and trusting someone just to be themselves. But that waiting for the shoe to drop thing is pretty hard to get rid of. So again, when we're talking about faith, I know where I stand.
Mhm.
And I really feel like all these messages that we've gotten for faith doesn't necessarily have to do with us having faith in knowing who we are. I really feel like the messages you and I have been talking about and seeing have to do with actually having faith in that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely. Mhm.
to me, that's 2 + 2 = 5. You know, it just, I don't understand how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's our biggest lesson. And, I mean, when that phase comes to an end or a halt, sometimes you get that epiphany, like, usually at
I
the
am
end of that
waiting for an
phase,
epiphany, yes.
you're like, oh, aha, and then suddenly you can make the connections and um, understand why that situation or circumstance or that person, there was, a specific order to how it went. Yeah.
So faith. Faith is
One
definitely
heck
a
of
thing.
a joyride, roller coaster ride. I'm telling you, life, man.
That's why
It's
that's what I was talking about earlier with like a calendar. I'm seriously considering writing down, okay, this week this is what was going on. This week this is what was going on, and then check it next year and see how accurate it is for month to month. And I'm sure the cycle is probably, I think that's where the
yeah.
Mayan calendar comes in, the whole short and the long cycle, because it definitely seems to be going that way. But I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have to make a note to myself, see if maybe looking up that Mayan calendar is gonna help me.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
writing a
but
lot more different things down here lately, and well, previously, okay, I have, my journals. I'm usually writing 2 to 3, sometimes even 5 pages at a time in my journal. But here recently, what I've been putting in there are very brief and precise, and to the point.
to
And
me, that suggests more wisdom and intelligence versus an emotional entry.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, because rather than me emotionally responding to the situation, obviously extracting from the situation, trying to figure out what's going on, why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely been some a bit more consistency with being able to be mindful about my perception in the midst of the circumstance.
Yeah. Yeah, being aware of yourself, knowing your flaws, it's a double-edged sword. I,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
again, without going into too much of a detail, and I don't mean to keep talking about myself, but it's telling you there's definitely something I need to be figuring out this
you're
morning.
working through something.
I'm definitely working through something, and I had a feeling it was going to reflect on today's stream, and I was really trying not to. I'm hoping for more people coming in to distract me from me, because this is not something that needs to be live on YouTube. My struggles. Let's make them
Maybe it
live for
is.
the world.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, because that's worked out so well for me in the past. I'm not sarcastic at all. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways.
Hey, with everything comes change, and that is no exaggeration at
No,
all.
yeah, no, I'm loving the whole fact where change decides to sweep in, whether you were ready for it or not. I mean, Texas and Florida is definitely a great example. It comes in full hurricane force, and you get swept away. You don't have a choice in the matter. Guess what? New house, new life, new everything. It's crappy. But people are strong and they show resilience. They keep going, you know?
Yeah, and what we're seeing the most isn't necessarily the disaster or the
No.
catastrophe, but rather the unity, the people coming together and working towards a similar mission to be able to support each other and get back on their feet. And it's been interesting to watch, for sure.
We have a Baron in channel needs his Harvey. Harvey is a much needed YouTuber.
You're popular.
So, well, let's see. If this cycle is predictable in the fact that there is just obviously a natural law of how this is going to flow, we had our struggle and strife building up to these couple of weeks, and it seems to be about a 2-week cycle. It seems to take about that long for everybody to kind of get through one step. 2 weeks of this transition. Now we have a couple weeks talking about faith and life path. So if we were to, this is probably a no-no, if we were to kind of help us understand where this is going to lead us, what do you think is the next step?
In regards to the
Just this whole process after life paths, after we realize our faith. No worries, hon, we'll be here.
yeah, I think the next step is taking that leap of faith.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can see, and that's been another thing I saw in the messages too. It definitely seems to be the people who make the change get that higher level of consciousness, and the people who are not able to make that change, they don't even notice. Life is the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, and I'm telling you, with everything going on and all the changes that are coming into my life personally and yours, and I mean something, and they don't even have to be big steps. They don't have to be, it doesn't have to be this enormous leap. It could be
Mm-hmm.
something as small as similar to what I did yesterday, getting on Facebook Live to do readings for others by myself. Or like that leap of faith I took when I came out to California for your wedding, being in an airport and on an airplane by myself for the very first time.
I'm going to steal that one from you. I can't give you credit. The incentive was a little too strong on that one. I'm just going to ruin that for you real quick.
But you see where I'm going with it. It can be small leaps of faith or big ones, whichever
All
fits
right,
you.
let's play. Again, lack of a better way of explaining, let me do devil's advocate real quick. What if you can't see what your leap of faith is supposed to be? You feel it, you know that there's something there, you feel off. How do you go about, for those people that may not have the cards to ask or people to ask, how do you come to terms with what your leap of faith is supposed to be?
Well, if at that point, if you find yourself at that point, what you're experiencing isn't in alignment, what you're experiencing, and if you don't know what that leap of faith is, or if you don't at least see what you're working towards, if you haven't planted that seed, and you don't know what you're nurturing to manifest, um, that's definitely a moment to step back, reflect on what you're filling your life with, what you're filling your space with, and that includes your home, your relationships, what you choose to do as an occupation in whichever field. your goals, and really start asking yourself some serious questions. Because if that's a point that you're reaching, then that question about where your leap of faith towards, or what it is exactly, um, if you find yourself at that point, then it's more of a question of not knowing what your passion is, not knowing
So
what your purpose is, or your
what
path.
stuck out the most for me right then was, even if we don't realize it, we are surrounding ourselves with signs of our life's path.
Mhm.
So by stepping back and seeing these things that bring us happiness, or these things that don't, even if we have no one to talk to, we should be able to just step back and look
Yeah,
and
look.
see, okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
fairly simple. I like it. Simple's good.
I've had to do that, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Everything's, and those are the times, and I'll give you a perfect example. When everything's going smoothly, although you have challenges, you're still able to find the confidence in yourself and the strength to keep going and to keep moving in this direction. If at any point you're moving along this direction and you hit a brick wall, or you feel like you hit a brick wall, and everything just stops moving altogether, including you, you've either gone off track a bit, or you're you're going so fast that you're not you're not able to, your awareness starts to decrease a bit, because you're focused on getting to that point rather than enjoying
Understand.
the process to that point and
Yeah.
understanding that process to that point. So
I mean, that was something like, again, with our future plans and everything being so intertwined, there's only so far that I could transition without you. And
yeah,
then you catch up or get ahead of me, and then you get to wait for me to come together. So,
yeah,
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 I
which
can
is
see how that does it too.
why I thought it was a good idea for us to do this live stream and at least touch base every week, and touch base with everybody else once a week, because what I was getting from it is it was going to help us uh, kind of reach that alignment with each other, so that we're on the same page, and we can continue along this journey together,
To
rather
to me,
than
it was
the
to me it was definitely us making an active effort of building the foundation for our plans of Harmony Gardens. And I can
yes,
definitely feel that. I can definitely see it, because I'm telling you, I look forward to this every week. Not doing it last week was very hard. It's okay, Harvey. You've got responsibilities.
yeah,
We're,
it's
we're always here, hon. It's fine.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was, and I can see that with Life Pass. When you definitely you get into something and it just brings you that joy, you're doing something that you were meant to do. And I feel
yeah,
bad for those people that they have to stop, because we get it in our head that there are certain responsibilities and priorities that they take priority over our happiness, our passions. And I absolutely love hearing the stories of somebody who had a job or two jobs, going to college, still a mom, still a single dad, still maybe just a perfect, happy, normal stereotype family. It doesn't matter, but they still were able to find time amongst all their responsibilities to still
mhm,
do those things that was their life's passion. And to me, you're a great example too. You have very few resources, but you've made it work. You wanted to publish poetry. You did. And from there, it went from poetry to child's books to just life stories to, you know, now you're doing, you followed your interest with being an empath and turned into Reiki and now live streams. And, you know, it's, when you have very little resources, there's still a way of making things happen. And I think that's another thing where faith comes in and courage comes in. Again, what we've been talking about these past weeks, you have to have it. You have to be able to grab the bull by the horns and see what happens.
Yeah.
Even if it knocks you down, you're still going to learn something from it.
Yeah. You're either gonna get up and you're gonna walk away, or you're gonna get up and you're gonna keep pushing and fighting.
Yep. Yeah. It's some intense stuff too. I think Marco's getting into something, I don't know what.
Yeah, hold on. I have to take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back.
Not the restroom. That's not allowed.
I know. I'm blaming it on the coffee.
Hey, I'm drinking Monster, dude. Although I think Monster has a delayed effect.
I think so too. Oh, my legs.
All right, let's see. My incense burned out again. So I'm just going to talk about whatever comes to mind real quick until Miss Amber gets back. Anybody who's listening, anybody who has an interest, anybody who knows somebody who has an interest, these tools are amazing. And most people don't even realize they're tools. These stones, I've been playing with this stone for the majority of the stream. It's a, I know this, it's a white quartz. I think it's called something else though, but it's white quartz. And Miss Amber's the one that knows more about the stones than I do. If I were to take the time to actually look it up, it would tell me why it is that I'm drawn to it. If you've ever had stones, if you've ever played with stones, we've talked about this in the past too. From my understanding, we are all connected. It's all energy. And the stones are all mineral. It's all part of Earth. It's all part of the magnetic field, everything that we have going on. So we're tied to it, whether we realize it or not. And it kind of helps with our own electromagnetic field. There we go. There's the word I'm looking for. So it helps. So if you have an interest, if you know somebody who has an interest, you can usually tell by feeling these things. There's definitely a change, kind of, you know, just how the body feels with aromatherapy, hence the incense. And not just the fact that incense, it smells good. You know, most people, you hear lavender, eucalyptus, you hear, oh, that's why our laundry detergents and our soaps and our dryer sheets all smell good. It makes you feel better. These are all tools, whether we realize it or not. I'm burning my incense way too fast. But yeah, you guys ever have time? You ever want to do it? Incense, stones, they're amazing. Cards, they're amazing. Tools are amazing.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I just burned half my stick because I was talking instead of blowing out the flame.
It was mesmerizing.
It was. I like fire. Oh, it's getting cold again. It's not over 100 degrees here anymore. We're in the 90s this week. It's getting comfortable outside. We have a fire pit. I can't wait to actually just go sit out there, listen to the wind blow through the trees, and sit next to the fire.
You know, I went and bought stuff to make s'mores because I have kids. So I like doing
Don't use your kids as an excuse. You like s'mores too.
I do. Anyways, so we're gonna have a fire, I think. Tabby is celebrating her 1-year anniversary with Jenny this month.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have him come over and we're gonna do s'mores and fun stuff.
Yay.
I'm a big
My boys
kid.
are wanting to blow. That's enough, please. Thank you. That's rude, Marco. No. No. No, it's not a candle. Please stop. Have kids. Have mine. Come babysit for me. You can't have mine.
I'll babysit. I love kids. I mean, their honesty is just, it blows me away. I freaking love it.
It does. It's very interesting. Let's see. How they're being very rude. You need to stop, please. Thank you. All
I
right.
think what else we were going to cover.
Oh, there's plenty that we could talk about.
I do want to bring up the group, Harmony Gardens, again, on Facebook. That's where we post most of our updates, and along with on our personal profiles and on my page. And there's a couple other groups too, but the main one, excuse me, is Harmony Gardens, Gardens of Wisdom on Facebook. So
in this case, it
just
is facebook.com/group/Gardens of Wisdom. It's not actually Harmony Gardens. I tried to link it in chat, but apparently they've updated that. You're not allowed to link web addresses anymore.
No?
No. It let us do it in chat last week, but apparently not this week. Hi, you guys got busy. Stop playing with my wires. Yeah, come here. Oh, baby. Oh. So. Let me squish you. Okay, go. All right, so I'll try it again. This time I'll just type it out. It's Facebook. I'm going to space it out so it doesn't think I'm doing an address. Facebook.com /group/Gardens of Wisdom. That's not how you spell wisdom. Wisdom. There you go. And I do believe you said that when we share this link for the live, the chat is no longer part of the stream.
I don't think so. No. No.
Okay.
The live chat that goes along with the video cannot be seen once the video ends. The recording does not show the live chat. So
Good to know.
if you want to comment and share your comments, you'll have to go to Harmony Gardens on Facebook or just post it underneath the recorded video.
You're sweet, Harvey, but you're still young. Don't run yourself ragged at such an early age. You're gonna stop having fun with what you're doing.
Yeah,
And the great
definitely.
thing about these streams is you can watch it later too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you have any questions or anything, Nikki and I are always on Facebook. You can find us.
Or we're
And
part of the group again.
you can find us and send us a message or whatever.
Oh, in case anybody, because we actually don't have a whole lot of active watchers right now, but in case anybody does actually go back to watch this stream, we are still wanting active energy readers.
Yes.
We are still looking for anybody. And again, if it's something, this is a business of yours and you're charging for it, excuse me, that's fine. We're not saying you can't charge. We're not going to tell you you can't come to the people in Harmony Gardens and proposition your business there. All that we are asking, because we do our readings for free, is that for your first 3 people, if you come to Harmony Gardens for them, that your first 3 readings are free. After that, you can do your regular charging, build up your clientele with us. But we are definitely trying to get people out there to see this is what we do and how helpful it is. Hey, you got it to work. And yeah, just
Mhm.
We are still looking for people to promote
Yes. Yes.
anything,
Yep.
any kind of energy work.
And it doesn't matter which tool you decide to use. Um, just just get a hold of us and let us know, and we'd be happy to promote
Your
you.
your name, your website, we will link it all. We will talk about it. Even if you're known, even if you're not known, even if you don't know if this is something that you're doing. We all started out at some point thinking we were crazy and that what we were picking up on couldn't possibly be real. And then you start playing with it a little bit, you start thinking, oh, I'll take a shot at it, or I'll start guessing, and time after time you you show yourself
Mhm.
you know what you're talking about. So even if you're just starting out, you're just curious, you think that you might be half crazy.
Crazy isn't there's no reason to put a negative spin on crazy, okay? I'm not.
Normal is bad. Be
So, I mean, we're all mad here. There's
well,
nothing wrong.
it's and that's the stigma from back in the old day. Oh, you know something that you shouldn't be able to know. You must be a witch.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. So that stigma kind of just yeah, true. Okay, Miss Witch. Yeah, I think witch is a bad word though. I don't think witch is technically accurate. I think witch was the negative stigma that they put onto
Right.
energy workers,
Mhm.
It's please don't do that. There's a actual burning thing on there. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
I know. I used to.
Stigma, being crazy. In today's world, there's too much. This is not new age magic. This is not new age energy work. This is one of the most ancient forms of divination, soothsaying, healing. Like this is, the oldest the oldest cultures did this before modern medicine.
Mhm.
Like so no matter how much we think that those ancient cultures were so primitive, they knew something that has been thought of as, because science can't prove it yet, doesn't mean it's not real.
And
Doesn't mean they're, yeah.
the expression of the energy or the healing or whatever you decide to call it, it's in a constant state of evolving. And um, that's why I like so much. I like the old because I'm Celtic and I have Celtic roots. I love that old way of you know, connecting with the moon cycles and using that energy. And but I like the modern, what it's evolved into as well. So whether it's old school or modern medicine, holistic medicine, whatever, it's all just uh, absolutely amazing to me. I
It
love
is
it.
like these runes, these are the Elder Futhark runes.
Mhm.
So the original Scandinavian Viking language back in, with their um, shamans, this is what they used. This was before, they were able to print and draw tarot cards, oracle cards. They
I know,
had
I'm
them
so
in.
glad you got that deck.
I know, I love this deck. There's some powerful
Okay,
stuff in.
Harvey, what's your question?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I love questions. I like my runes. I like them. They're pretty. Oh, I haven't seen this one in a while.
Okay, how to make someone happy. Okay, does this have to do with friends or maybe possibly a girl that you're interested in? Um, I think regardless, going to boil down to is you can only be responsible for your own happiness. If the person isn't happy with themselves or their self or their circumstances or any part of their life, then you can't make somebody happy. You can't be somebody's vehicle for instant gratification. That's not your responsibility to take on.
Well,
Now, if
it's even harder than that because if I remember correctly, Harvey is 15, 14, high school,
yeah,
maybe?
something like that. So that's the toughest stage, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, trying to
People
find.
that age, we don't even know who we are at that age. We don't,
No.
you're surrounded by trying to be just like everyone else so that you can fit in because you are just surrounded by so many peers in school. There's so many fashions. There's so many. I don't worry about girlfriend or not. Just you're being concerned about friends.
13, yeah. So right now, I would just worry
13.
about laughing and being a kid because that's your biggest responsibility is to accept um, who you are and just to have fun with life. I mean, you're in such a young stage in your life, and there's so much to.
And there's a lot of, this is, I'm sure teenagers are tired of hearing this, but hormones, no matter what you do about it, hormones are a huge factor at that age. You
Yeah,
have no idea how
yes.
bad they can upset somebody mentally. They make you physically sick and you just feel like crap. Sometimes you feel great. It's just you have no control. I'm young too. I'm 32. Can I be young? It's okay. We will never be younger than what we are now. So
No,
be young for as
yeah.
long as you can.
As
Yes,
and yeah, because you miss it. You miss it when you're our age. You get to a point in your life where you're constantly trying to get that back and to
because
get that.
people around you are still telling you act your age, you're growing
Yeah.
old, again, yeah, no, seriously, just be young. Don't let other people tell you how you have to be. Be
Hmm.
honest with yourself. Be honest with your friends. That'll make them the happiest. Let them be themselves with you. That'll make them happy. And right now, you guys really just need to be focusing on. I mean, you're in school. School, you have no idea how important it is. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of your parents telling you this, but I wish that I could go back with the knowledge that I have now. I don't know a single adult that doesn't say that.
Hmm.
Um, but you guys are at the age, hell, even some 20, 30-year-old people, they still don't know who they are. So
I
right
didn't
now,
until I
yeah,
was until I was 34, 30, 33.
I
Um,
didn't until I was like 27, 28. Hold
because
on,
you
he's
know what
got a weapon.
happened? We get so focused on growing up and getting to do all the fun stuff adults do. When we get to that point, it's happened so fast. Now we have all these responsibilities, and you start seeing that the responsibilities need to be prioritized and they need to be put first before you put your fun. Um, and that it starts the cycle of constantly taking care of responsibilities, and then you have a family, and then you have a job, um and then during that adulthood you're constantly trying to find out because it's easy to lose yourself in all of that. So
And with your current hobby slash job that you have right now, your responsibilities with being a YouTube moderator to so many channels.
Yeah.
Just because you know you're capable of dealing with it doesn't mean that you should. It does not mean that all these people should be putting all that pressure on you either. You probably need a partner to be able to work with. So if you're in the middle of something, your partner can help you. If they're in the middle of something, you can help them. There's no reason whatsoever in this world why anybody should have to do it all by themselves. There's always somebody out there to help.
Yep. Absolutely.
Even if you have to make a new friend, a new connection, adopt somebody as your new sister or your new brother, or a new mom, a new dad. I mean, don't do that, because my kids do that. I'm gonna hurt somebody. But but well, they're allowed to think Amber's their mom. That's different. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I have a lot of kids who think, who look up to me as a mother figure. And, I wouldn't have it any other way. I never try to take the place of another child's parent. That's just no.
You're just a
No.
mama.
What that connection is, more or less, is me being able to relate, and them being able to relate with me, and us, just me being able to be a big kid and be with them and enjoy things with them. And
that was my dad. My dad always got along with the 20-something-year-olds really well.
I love kids. They're so much fun. And you don't have to worry about like all this in between crap with them.
And you don't have to say sorry, honey.
Don't apologize. I absolutely love kids. Their honesty, and and I truly believe that kids hold this innocent wisdom that
and
we
you should
tend
not
to
say
lose.
sorry for being honest.
No,
to me, sorry means that you feel sorrow for something. I get that, but don't let people tell you that you have to say sorry. Don't let people make you feel that you have to apologize for being you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry is way too powerful of a word. It can knock us down without us even realizing that it's knocking us down when we say it.
There was just a white butterfly that flew by my window.
No.
Yeah, no, don't say sorry. We accept you for who you are. You don't need to be anybody else but you during these live streams. You're safe here, like everybody else. So.
And you can be as weird as you want to.
Right. We like weird. We're good with weird.
All right. We are almost to our last half hour.
Okay.
Almost. So let's see. We've been talking about life paths, a little bit on how to help you understand it, recognize it if you need that change. I keep talking about the transitions that have been happening this past couple of weeks.
Yeah, transition.
Oh man, that stuff hurts sometimes.
It really does. Like, knock me on my butt.
Me too. Holding back stuff is no bueno. We're talking about faith. I do not think you will ever be able to stop talking about faith. There's always something that has to be learned, something that has to be renewed, let go.
Now, you do what you got to do. We'll be live.
Again, yeah. You can always come back and see what you missed.
Yeah. So don't stray
We don't
away
want
from
you to
your
get in, yeah, we don't want you to get in trouble. I mean, we do talk about how you need to be able to make time for your passion, but those responsibilities can't be neglected because of a passion either. You have to find that happy balance.
Yeah.
If it's something that needs to be done now, you might as well do it. Don't procrastinate. Life is difficult and contradictory. It's slightly annoying. I need these cards. I feel like these cards were supposed to drop for me, but I feel like they were supposed to drop for someone. You know, there's all this information out there, all these people that want to give their messages. But
This is the second time I've gotten this card.
today?
No, I got it yesterday and today. So I'm not sure if this is in regards to me or I don't know.
I was watching yesterday too.
Yeah, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones. Making wise investments or planning for retirement. Honoring family traditions.
Huh. I don't
And
know.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of autumn. I'm gonna shuffle one more time and see what the connected card says.
I'm kind of feeling like these morning streams might have been a little too early for our regular viewers.
Yeah, I think we can schedule it a little bit later. I mean, those who can make it are going to make it, and those who can't aren't going to be able to. But there's always the recording that they can watch afterwards. So,
It's very true.
I think if we were able to get it on a more steady time and date, that would help. That way we can post enough in advance to let everybody know what's going on so that if they do have plans and want to squeeze in there, they can.
Well, my schedule got very consistent for the next 7 weeks because Jay's doing training.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's always going to be the same hours. The only thing that fluctuates is whether or not 5:27 p.m. Yeah, it's 9:27 in the morning for me.
Yeah, it's
You must be over
12:20.
in the UK, yeah?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I know for Ray, it's almost 6:30 for her, Rhea. I need to, hold on, clear the energy from this deck.
Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm going to try doing this card spread again. I don't know why. It has to do with me feeling the energy. Because it was different for a little while there. Portugal.
Portugal. Okay.
Well, that feels weird.
Right. I'm not supposed to be using these cards. Not right now. So I'm going to grab my other ones. This deck right here, I've been using this one quite a bit.
I've noticed that you go through these phases where one deck seems to be one that is pulled more. Well, I just tried to pull a card from the Goddess Guidance ones, and with my deck spread, my hand went all the way off the end of the deck towards my runes, so no cards.
Yeah. Happens.
I was hoping to get a general reading for anybody who decides to tune in later.
Well, this is definitely the deck I'm supposed to be using because they're shuffling a lot easier now. And they're smart.
Teaching and learning.
keep an open mind and learn new ideas. Then teach these ideas to others. Isn't that what we're doing? I feel like that's associated with all of this.
Yeah, every once in a while I get messages too that I'm supposed to be a teacher. I've
Mine
had
have
mixed
been,
feelings about it.
yeah, mine have been pretty clear about family-oriented things.
But there was that one message I was supposed to teach you something and you were supposed to be the student. The tables have turned.
Yeah.
I got an angel message. I have one rune out of these, how many are here? 60? 50? No, I was way off. 24. One rune. Actually, it's the 25th rune because it's blank. I love when this one gets pulled up.
Okay, it says you are a spiritual teacher and an avid learner. Learning and teaching are linked in a perfect circle in which information comes to you when you need it. Teach others about the topics that awaken your passions. The more you teach, the more your lessons are reinforced within yourself. That's true. That is absolutely true because of a lot of the stuff that I share on Facebook. It has to do with some sort of a phase or something that I'm going through too. So the guidance that I post isn't just it's for everybody, including me. And it helps when you're able to admit that you're going through this, and share that wisdom with other people. It definitely helps. Let's see. Be open to sharing new ideas and learning about topics
No worries, Harvey. Have fun.
that aren't in your immediate sphere of interest. Your students will teach you in many ways too. Trust in your teaching and learning abilities as your divine mind of God. You are an intelligent and wise being. Know that it is safe in this lifetime for you to be outspoken in your teachings. That's what I'm learning right now. How to speak.
Yeah, I'm learning I'm supposed to be a teacher too, but I've yet to find my student. Okay, so I asked for a general reading for anybody that decides to tune in, manages to make it through the first hour and a half of our stream. I'm probably going to post this on Facebook too in case this was for anybody specific. I remember going through this phase. This was an angel message from my runes, again, because I get my blank one that I designated from the very first day that I had these, that if I pulled my blank rune, it meant angel.
Okay.
And above that was my Iwas symbol.
Okay.
And that has to do with the yew tree. Basically, it's talking about the yew. This is old information. Yew was the preferred wood because it was strong, flexible, long-lasting. It's what they made their bows out of. It was something that they could trust. For us, now, it basically means, as you've seen in some of the oracle cards, it's the hunter deck or the hunter card. To be patient, keep your mind focused, to be ready to strike when the moment is just right, to use bravery and to take action. So someone out there is at a point where patience, bravery, again, I love the word integrity. It's what you need to do right now. Keep your mind focused and go after, like, watch your intentions and then go for it when that time is right. So someone out there is definitely on their right path, but they're waiting for that next step.
Yeah.
And patience right now is what they need to be looking for.
I feel like that applies to me because I'm not saying it doesn't apply to anybody else because I'm sure there's.
Well, if it resonates with you, then yeah.
Because I've been looking for the next step, the next step. What is my next step? Because I feel this plan.
Yeah.
And the synchronicity in regards to this mission, this dream of ours, is just nuts. So I've been asking, what's my next step? You know, what I'm ready. And
That's exactly right. You started this stream out today by saying you were ready to go for the next step.
right.
Well,
So
there you go.
when I did a reading for myself earlier, the card from this deck said patience across it. And I'm like, here we go. Okay.
Well, you remember when it was, again, the tables were turned. You were my teacher, and I kept being canceled patience. There was something there. It was class time, damn it. And I needed to sit and listen and shut up and understand and just do what I was doing because there was something important at that moment that I was meant to do and to understand. So I guess it's your turn.
It is. Yeah. Yay.
Yay! Learning is fun. All right, Miss Thing, what shall we be learning?
Patience.
We've been talking about Harmony Gardens a lot lately. We've been talking about how a week or two ago during one of our last streams, I was talking to you about how I was waiting for the other shoe to drop with this. You remember? I was, every time it seems like I get to delve into something that is passionate for me, one of my responsibilities comes along and takes it from me. And for me, that was just, I was really sad about it. I was really frustrated, but you know, you kind of promised me that you wouldn't allow that to happen. We were going to keep doing it. And I've been telling myself the same thing. There's no reason why I can't, even if it's going to be difficult, if the time changes, if I have to kind of work around my responsibilities and schedules, I promised myself I was still going to do this. It was what I knew right now I am meaning to do. And I know that it's not going to be easy at first. I know we're really hoping to get a lot more people involved to touch a lot more lives and help get this message out to people that maybe they don't have anybody to tell it to them, which is why we're doing this live. We're doing it to where it's recorded. We can do it to where it can be shared for those that that need it. But I definitely kind of got my own message when it came to this, that this is what we are kind of meant to be doing for a little while. This next step that you're looking for because you feel like you've conquered this already and you're ready to conquer the next step. This is it. I'm sure that there's more tweaking that we could do with this. We could make this better. We can, we can't move on to the next step until we start reaching more people.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to kind of start having the live stream on Facebook from my personal profile once a week at least. I think that'll really help too with getting myself more comfortable with what we're doing. And and I don't like using that term. I'm tired of being comfortable. I mean, I appreciate the peace and the tranquility within the comfort, but I feel like I'm at a point in my life right now where I need some positive reinforcement, something that's going to push me out of my comfort zone and to explore, beyond what I've already explored. And I think that, like I said, that live stream on Facebook by myself yesterday, I mean, that was intense.
That was a big step.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people that's something simple for them, but for someone like me, I've always been somebody's secret. Always been somebody's mom or somebody's sister or somebody's daughter. And that is really nice, and I love my family, the journey towards just rediscovering and recreating who I am, um, continues.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like an identity crisis.
yeah,
You get so mixed into the shuffle of being there for somebody else that your identity of being a person and not something that is there for someone else gets lost. It gets put on hold.
yep.
There was something I was going to tell you, and now I don't even remember what it was. Huh. You were talking about being live on Facebook. I was kind of wondering if there's a way of being live to just the groups or if it's only live to just yourself, like on your page.
No, you can go live in the groups as well,
That'd be cool.
pages in your profile. Yeah, it'll work on any of them.
Comfort. That's what I was going to tell you. Comfort right now is a bad word for you because to you, comfort is black and white. You either are comfortable here and not here. What I've discovered in the past is that you can take your comfort with you. You can decide that wherever you go, you're going to make that place comfortable for you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
I'm learning.
that's
Yeah.
what you got to do.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. To be comfortable within myself enough to move wherever I need to.
Yeah, you just take it with you. You make that space comfortable for you. You
Yep.
decide, you go to a new house, a new place. This is mine. This couch right here is my spot. Be
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Somebody
There's
else's kitchen. Be comfortable.
yeah. 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 That's kind of what I'm doing. And and it's good that I can acknowledge it and I can see it and I can be like, okay, this is what I need to do. And
Well, we're also meant to lead by example. We're sitting here going through our own struggles, but like you were saying, sometimes, when it resonates with you, that's what you teach.
yep. Yeah.
Because again, that's all we've ever done was learn by example. Those that are truly willing to listen, they're not going to listen to you if you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
If you
Exactly.
haven't gone through it, if you
Yeah.
haven't proved it, yeah. So
Yeah. And I was speaking to somebody yesterday on Facebook about something similar. About that post I posted about saying wise shit that somebody already said and
yeah,
how easy it is
yes,
without fully understanding what that means because you have yet to experience it.
hmm
And I was telling a new friend that I made on Facebook, I was telling her I tend to, if I haven't experienced it yet for myself, regardless of whether or not it's me
yeah,
or somebody else's situation, I won't talk about it
hmm
because not for fear of sounding stupid, but because I want to make sure that I'm relaying information that I understand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if I don't understand it, then I have no business saying it's the right way for anybody or that it'll even work.
Well, Facebook is a difficult entity in itself also because we've allowed Facebook to color what we think of people as part of their identity.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
because that's how some people decide, oh, whatever's going on your Facebook is an exact representation of who you are as a person. It's for me personally, I try to be a little mindful about what it is that I'm posting because, I don't, it's so easy for people to decide who you are before they know you. And
It
in a
is.
situation like this where we're wanting to teach, if somebody has decided that, oh, well, you're over here talking about uh, cash me outside, how about that? Like, how are they gonna take you seriously as a teacher?
Yeah.
So with Facebook, yeah, it's a difficult entity to use as a tool for this kind of thing.
Right.
But
That's why I'm glad we're doing this because it's easier for me to read body language. It's easier for me to listen to the tone of somebody's voice. It's easier for me to get a feel for somebody when I can observe them in person. Not really observe them, but kind of get to know their energy,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do through Facebook because you don't know. You can be anything you want on Facebook. You don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what they're really saying or trying to convey because you can't hear their emotions. You can't.
Uh-oh. Are
So,
you and brother fighting? Huh? Oh.
uh-oh.
Are your little feelers hurt? Oh. He's squeaking. Oh, your heart's broken, huh?
Aw.
But yeah, so
Aw, buddy.
and that for me, that's again, that's where faith comes in. It's if I'm around somebody long enough, they're gonna see who I am. Because I'm gonna be honest about who I am and how I feel and how I want to act, and I take that comfort with me everywhere. So I am very unfiltered most of the time, and there's even another step after that that is even less filtered that only basically you get to see. Uh, but it's pretty. What you see is what you get. But
Mhm.
I still have a hard time with wanting to talk to people
Yeah.
that I don't know because it's so easy for them to misunderstand. And that comes with the courage and the faith. You still should try.
Yeah.
It's you have to be willing to reach out to take someone's hand, put in
Hmm.
that effort versus just damning the situation to being failed before it even started. And that
Right.
is definitely, I thought it was a strength after failing so many times and then just deciding it's not worth it anymore. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe that situation is now more of a bad thing.
Hmm.
But here it's easy. Here it's not just me in a comfort zone, it's me in a comfort zone with somebody who's also comfortable, and we're just comfort, comfort, comfort. It's like we can say whatever's on our mind. We've known each other for so long, and if we get people on here, they're going to see our comfort. They're going to
Hmm.
get into it too. We're going to be able to, when you connect with somebody, barriers come down. You immediately
Yes.
become more willing to talk and be honest, and that's again, community. I want people to connect.
Yeah, being able to share part of your life and yourself with others, there's a great bridge there that connects humanity, connects people through sharing stories. Because from my experience, being a storyteller and sharing my story or listening to somebody else's, it doesn't matter what journey they're on. At some point in that journey, there is a connection point to somebody else's journey.
Yeah.
There's somewhere in there you're going to be able to relate to each other past those 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 different the things you see as differences. Um, So that's something that's always been important to me, being able to share our stories with each other because that builds such an amazing connection between people. Just like if you have a friend that comes over and you sit down and you're venting to each other and you're like, oh yeah, this happened to me, and they're like, yeah, 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 I went through something similar, and you're connecting and you're helping each other, and you're kind of brainstorming. It really bridges a lot of the gaps.
And it's another form of healing. You're letting the barriers down. You're letting the poison out. You guys are healing each other. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We are down to our last 10 minutes. I went ahead and posted in Harmony Gardens again, seeing if anybody's active, if anybody wants a reading. My boys are currently unpacking my closet. You need more rocket fuel.
I do.
You need some Monster.
Yeah, I need to take another walk in nature or something. Go hug a tree.
Hey, now, what are you doing? They're literally unpacking the closet. I had a piano, little keyboard stuck in the back there, and he just found it.
Right.
He's trying to make it work.
Boys.
I might have to, yeah. They have a floor piano that they can run on, but I might have to find the power cord for that one and let them play on it. Music is good for the soul.
It is. I love music. I was singing earlier. Brian always sneaks up on me when I'm singing too.
So, still feel like there's lots that we need to talk about, but it definitely feels like somebody was missing out on the conversation, so we don't really get to talk about it. Miss Heather did not get to join us today. I know she usually likes to listen in. I think it might be a little too early for her.
Yeah, Quentin is teaching me how to edit videos and stuff right now. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, he knows how to do all that stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, you're such a nerd. I like YouTubes.
Well, good that he's teaching you how to do that because, again, I feel like the reason why we're going to be here for a little while is because this is stuff that we need to learn how to do.
Yeah, it definitely advanced my skills a bit because I know I know just about everything there is to know about Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and
There's no such thing as too much knowledge or you're done learning or
yeah, so on to the next.
Yep. Every new thing that we get to decide to help people, we are learning.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing.
We should start having computer classes.
Right? Hey, there's a YouTube for that, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
All right, let's see.
Oh, I didn't show you my go ahead.
No, what did you not show me?
My plants.
Oh, your seedlings and stuff.
Yeah, in the little bowls, glass bowls.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to show me that. My sage is taking its time growing. I think I need to put it in a bigger pot.
The reason why they look like this is because they keep growing towards the light. So
yeah, you have to turn them.
Mm-hmm. And they'll grow this way, and then I'll turn it again. Yeah, so it's quite interesting.
They're getting big. Good deal.
I know, and that other one right behind me.
Yeah.
Look how tall that thing is.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks worth of growing, and it was probably this big when it started. Nice.
I can't wait to have house plants. I'm telling you, I'm gonna end up having like hooks, shit hanging from the ceiling. It's gonna look like a rainforest in here. But I love plants. But my boys are still so little that they're gonna destroy them. I don't want to waste the money, buy a plant and pots and stuff. And
yeah, when you have toddlers, just plan for it after they're old enough to understand not to touch them.
Yeah, that's gonna take a little while. Boys are grabby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's definitely so much to cover and to recover, and um, there's still a lot of stuff that I know that I need more tools and stuff. I'm still feeling the whole shaman aspect of me is still calling for more tools.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of these days we're going to be out here streaming, and my whole desk and Jay's whole desk is just going to be covered in stuff. It's going to take me a half hour just to move everything out here for these streams.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get enough of them. For some reason today, though, I was talking about this earlier while you were AFK. Is this just, it's a white quartz, right? Is that what it's called? Or it's called something else? I can't remember.
Let me get my glasses. Show.
It's the solid white quartz? Snow
No,
quartz? No, not snow. What is it called? Milky quartz. That's what it's
milky
called.
quartz. Yeah.
Milky quartz. I knew white quartz was wrong. Yes, for some reason this one today has been helping me, but I can't remember the healing energy behind milky quartz. I don't remember what it is. But I know this one has been, it's my last one. I've been giving all my stones away to other people who need them.
Yeah, I have been too. But
I
I
think
gave
this
the name.
one's meant to stay with me.
I gave the neighbor down the street 4 stones.
Yeah. The gentleman that you helped?
Yeah. Snow quartz is also known. And wait, is that? Yeah, that's an alternative there. Or not. Let's see. Oh, fun, load. Okay, milky quartz is generally white quartz. So you have the right name. And I did that with my angel aura stone too. I kept calling it angel aura, and then I found out that it's called it's also called rainbow aura, and there's like 3 or 4 different other names for it too. So let's see. Also known as white wisdom quartz at majestic quartz. The milkiness is, let's find the meaning. Compassion, joy, nurture, confidence, growth, information, empathy. Information used in helping to receive energy and information. Helps with the shift in consciousness because it helps.
Data download.
Yeah, it helps receive the data downloads and the information and the energy. And, yeah.
Interesting. I don't know what I'm supposed to be downloading. I did enough of that the other day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's way more consistent now than it used to be, that's for sure.
That's very true. It's very true. It's not so sporadic anymore.
No, because it's for me, it's happening either every day or at least every other day. I'm receiving some kind of a download or information or an upgrade.
Upgrade. It's a computer update. All right, we are at officially 2 hours. With maybe some seconds or minutes to spare. I think we covered everything that we were meant to cover today.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we should try for 2 streams next week.
You want to? Maybe one at the beginning and one at the end of the week?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe one on Monday and one on Friday. We'll have to see about that. Maybe we can actually get appointments with people, work with their schedules, and then see if they can get on, and then maybe we'll do it that way. We'll make our schedule to where it's easier for them.
Yeah, I was thinking about holding like private group sessions.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do the Google Hangouts where it's not live and just get people talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that'd
so
be really nice.
how about we start off next week with maybe a private group
One
session
private and one live.
and one live? Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right. Well, for those of you who decide to tune in and watch after the fact, I'm sorry that you didn't get to join. I was really looking forward to talking to you. But thank you for watching. We'll be here whenever you need to talk, ask questions, get a reading, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Tune in. We'll be having these every week. So if you can invite friends, family, anybody.
Share.
Yeah, sharing is caring. So as corny as that sounds, it's true.
It's
So
very
we would
true.
appreciate any shares, inviting others. Your presence is very much welcome here. We want everybody, as many people as possible, to benefit from these live streams. And we will be having private sessions, so stay
Now we are.
tuned and updated.
All right. Love you.
Love you.